Hello everyone, so we've just looked at the blues using the A pentatonic scale, so we looked at that pentatonic scale again in the key of A. Now what I thought would be good to do is perhaps look at power chords. Power chords is when you play more than one note at the same time, so we're going to play the most common power chord today, which is using just two strings at the same time. So we want to try and hit just two of these strings at the same time. We're going to look at the E and the A string, so the two thickest strings. For our plectrum, we want to do down strokes, and we're going to try and hit those two strings, so just the thickest string and the second thickest string, just the E and the A. Right, just switch my amp on. Okay. Okay, so we've got a bit of noise. Now, so we're going to play thickest string and the second thickest string simultaneously, so together. But now to make a power chord, it's also known as a 5 chord in America because it's the root and the fifth of the chord, but let's not worry about that at the moment. This is how the shape looks. So it's an open on the thickest string and a second fret on the A string. So the second thickest string, we've got to put a second fret down, and that's a B. So it's an E and it's an E and a B. So just the two thickest strings. Practice holding that down. You know the other thing we tried before when we looked at palm muting, you could also try that. So put in your hand, resting your palm on the back towards the tremolo or the bridge of the guitar, just enough pressure so it rings a bit, not too much so it changes the pitch or completely mutes the note. We want to have some ringing on there, so that's a good thing to practice. Okay, so we're going to look at this in a blues progression again, so in the key of E. So before, when we looked at the E pentatonic scale, you could actually record this and practice your E pentatonic scale over the top. So our first chord, we know it's open and second fret on the two thickest strings, so it's open on the thickest string, second fret on the second thickest string, which is the A. We're going to play that in eighth notes, or also known as quavers, but and 2 and 3 and 4, and all we really need to know at the moment, we're going to play 8 per bar, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to have 2 bars of this, 1 and 2. Now we've got a position shift, so this gets a bit more complicated now because in our position shift we're going up to A. So we know from that pentatonic scale we looked at in A before, A is 5th fret on the bass string. Now to make a power chord we need to go to a 7th fret on our second thickest string. So we're 5th fret on the bass string, which is an A, 7th fret on the A string, so the second thickest string, so it's a 5 and a 7. Now make sure we've got our fingers just behind those frets, we've got to hold that down, but also I'd try using your third finger, so your first finger and third finger there. If you try your second finger, it's quiet, it's a big old gap, so, and if we use our little finger, we might try extending this chord at some point, so we're going to leave him free for something later on. So we've got a 5 and a 7, and that makes an A because the root note is the bass string, and that's an A power chord or an A5 chord. Okay, the only other chord we're going to use in this progression, it goes up to B. So the beauty of a power chord is you can actually move him around the fretboard to produce different chords. It's always that same shape. So we're going to go up to 7 and 9, which is a B. So 7th fret on the bass string and 9th on the next string. Now, let me play this sequence. So we're going to do it in a blues progression. So we've got an E for 2 bars, so 16 times, because we've got 8 strums per bar. 1. Up to 5 and 7, so remember we've got our whole position shift. Again, 2 bars. Back to E, open and 2. 7 and 9, just for 1 bar, 8 of those. 5 and 7 for 1 bar. Back to E for 2 bars. Experiment that with palm muting and without. So that's without. With. So just put my hand on the back of there. Okay. Now another thing we looked at, again, what I'll do with this, I'll put a PDF link so you can download and print out the PDFs to practice along with. We looked at before Just going onto YouTube, typing in drum beat, 50 BPM, BPM stand for beats per minute. This is the first one that came up, so it'll give us a count in. Again, I'll put a link in the YouTube comments for this. Want to get familiar with the beat before we start, so we've got 1, 3, 4. Up to 5 and 7. Back to open. Remembering the second fret on the A string. 7 9s, 5 and 7s, open the 2s for 2 bars. One thing I did there when I was playing, when I went up to the 5 and 7 and the 7 and 9, so the A and the B, I actually used the dots on my guitar as a reference point. So I know the 5th fret and 7th, so that's my A and that's my B. Now, if you find that quite straightforward and it's too slow, go up to 60 BPM, try 70 BPM. If you find it's too fast, I've got it on at 50 at the moment, knock it down to 40, so try in different speed increments. Good luck.